Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience presented by DraftKings, the final PGA event of 2021. I think that's the year. I don't know what year it is anymore. Anyway, RSM Classic DraftKings picks, preview, predictions, and a betting card towards the end of the show. I want to remind everyone to smash the like, sub to the Mayo Media Network, as there will be ongoing golf coverage when European Tour comes back, and we're going to have shows over the holiday season previewing the next year. I want to give a special shout out to Jeff Feinberg, who the past 4 PGA events has gone win, second, win, win, which is like basically better than I did all year. So shout out to Jeff on that one. Shout out to Pat Perry of the Tour Junkies for hitting him some Jason Kokrak. Just put his face down in the mat and just snorted all the Kokrak. Well, he was like having a Tito's or something like that. I don't know if he actually did that or not, but he got paid out 50-1. That's nice to see. You want to play in the best tournament on DraftKings for football? The Listeners League for football is available to you, the golf viewers, before everyone else. So go take advantage of that, and I'll have my bets in the newsletter. Ben Rasa from awesomeo.com is on the line. Someone asked me, it's like, Pat, do you put your picks in the newsletter? I was like, yeah, every week. And they're like, oh, I subscribe to it. I was like, okay, did you see it? They're like, oh, I didn't really subscribe to it. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? It was the weirdest
strategy.
It was the weirdest conversation I've ever had with someone. I was like, yeah, they're in there. That's where you can find them.
That is where you can find them. Yeah, let's see if we can pick a winner here to close out a long golf season. Feels like it's felt 2 years. I feel like we haven't had a break, but I'm looking forward to this tournament. I would like to end it on a high note here in 2021.
Shout out to Sky and Tom from the Europick show. Because of them, I hit Hansen. I woke up with it's 2 weeks in a row. I've woke up on Sunday morning and didn't check my accounts, logged in to bet on lose money on football. And I just had a whole bunch of money in my account. I was like, what is going on? So Cody hits a gigantic UFC parlay 2 weeks ago that I just blindly tailed, won on that. They give out some guy, JB Hansen from Denmark on the European Tour last year, 66-1. So I don't know, listening to my contributors is just doing much better than me making my own bets at this point.
That is always nice about Europe. You get the early sweat. I saw Hansen won. Shout out to those guys. That was very, very cool. And yeah, Kokrak, I was certainly not on that last week. I was on the Leishman train. That was not the winner of the tournament, unfortunately. So onward and upward here. RSM. Feel like we play this tournament 3 or 4 times a year. I feel like we literally were just here, but I guess not.
Well, I mean, it's no different than the Sony Open or the Wyndham or
That's
Heritage or whatever else. It's a crappy, short. It's the same guys who should we just fill out our rosters? Webb Simpson, Kevin Kisner, Griot, is he playing? Put him in. Mackenzie Hughes, 2 other losers. End of show. Thank you for watching. It's been great.
It's been a good run. Yeah, I think you summed it up. It's true. The Sea Island Mafia is 80 guys. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do there. And yeah, it's the same cast of characters. But the one good thing is I feel like we do have a pretty good idea of what you need to excel. It's not easy to pick the winner, but at least we kind of know the courses that we'll see inside and out.
Yeah, I actually ran my regular model with all the stats, and this one's been very good to me over the years. Hit Austin Cook here at 80-1. That was a fun one. And then I also ran one that just has total strokes gained in all of the other categories with Colonial, Harbor Town, both Sea Island courses, and Sedgefield CC. I feel like that gives me a pretty good. So Wyndham, Heritage, Charles Schwab, and this course. Who of those 4 courses, basically the Webb Simpson, Kevin Kisner courses, who plays the best? Maybe I could throw the players into there. Sawgrass.
Yeah, it's so tough with the water aspects because it's just you're gonna find some funky results, particularly at Sawgrass. But I get it. I do think that's the theme. Those are the guys, and it's true. I like this tournament too. Tyler Duncan, former winner here. We've had some cool dudes win this event. So we'll see what we can muster up here. Obviously, it's not the most elite field I've ever seen.
Well, last year, Robert Streb just reached into everyone's Kevin Kisner cash ticket pocket and just ripped out some money. So that was, a delight. 2-time winner of this event, Robert Streb. He is the defending champion. There are 2 courses in play here. You have the Seaside course, where they'll play both weekend rounds in one of the first 2 rounds. It's a par 70. It's on the shorter end. It's minus the 2 par 5s. Then you have the Plantation course, which the courses with the players will alternate one of the first 2 days. It's a par 72. It has all 4 of the par 5s. Now, last year, first round leader did not come from the Plantation course, but I think like the 6 years before that it did. So if you're playing round 1 showdown, round 2 showdown, you're betting first round leaders, it might not come to fruition, but the Plantation is where you want. You have 2 extra par 5s. Why wouldn't you take that course?
No, I saw that as well, but you got to think. I mean, same distance, you've got the extra par 5s, barring some type of outlier, and I don't know why the weather would be more adverse there. So you do want to lean there in showdown. You just have the opportunities for streaks and eagles and just high octane scoring, and that's of course what we're after on DraftKings.
Yeah, looking at it last year, Matt Wallace and Camilo Villegas were both 6 under after round 1. Hit that first round leader, Villegas. I thought he was going to win this last year too. He didn't.
Yeah, he was up there.
Yeah, he didn't win. I also, it was a really bad mistake by me was trying to figure out how much money I've bet on Luke List over the years and whether or not him winning in Houston was going to make me like not only whole, but like would I be up money? And I would have been up a bunch of money as it turns out. And then I was convinced he was going to win at the turn, and he did not win. It was not good on the back 9 for old Luke List. When you lose 5.5 strokes putting, turns out even if you lead by 2 strokes tee to green, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, I know how that story goes. I got a couple guys that I'm still awaiting the Brandon Harkins win, which seems difficult because he's no longer on tour. But if we can get that, I will be made whole. So I know the feeling of still needing those breakthrough wins.
Yeah, just looking back. So Webb was a first round leader. Kirk was a first round leader, all Plantation in 2017. It was all Plantation at the top. Kirk, Damon, Kokrak, Swafford, Brian Gay, they all played the Plantation they all played the Plantation course that week to start. Charles Howell III, JJ Spawn, Austin Cook, and Aaron Badley, all first round. Like they were the top 4 on the board. Actually, the top 6 on the board were all Plantation courses. So yeah, so that kind of checks out. It was just a weird situation last year where guys got hot with the putter, and that was that. And that's going to happen at this course. It's a short course with wedges. If you start making 20 footers from everywhere, you're going to score well. Let's just get to the 10K, guys. Are you playing Webb Simpson or not?
Probably not, honestly. And it's not because of anything in terms of skill set or anything regards to that. I think where I start is you've got guys right above and below him that are also, Scheffler to me is obviously the best player in the field. He's the favorite and he should be. How big do you think the gap will be? I know it's very early in the week, ownership wise, from Webb to everybody else.
I don't know. And I always end up playing Webb Simpson at these events. Always. Is one of the rules that if I had like a Fight Club set of rules that if we're at Heritage, we're at Wyndham, Simpson, and it's going to work out. He's going to come like 3rd.
Yeah, it's a pretty good rule to start your Fight Club. I get it. He's just built for these courses. He's shown time and time again. We haven't seen him much. He's not really doing anything, but I don't know if that actually even matters with a guy like this. So I wouldn't push back on it. I think for me, I'd rather find $200 and just take Scheffler if I was going to do that. Or of course, you're going to have a lot of people that go very balanced this week.
Let's see. In 2019, Scheffler was 5th at this course. How was he at the Wyndham? Doesn't really play the Wyndham. Charles Schwab, 22nd miscut 55th at Charles Schwab. So we don't have like a huge sample for him at these type of courses. Like when I think of Scheffler, I guess he just kind of did it at Mayakoba, and that's a very similar type of course, but it's not directly on the ocean like this is. But I don't know. I just
what
always
about Bermuda.
Bermuda, like the course Bermuda, or like Bermuda the grass Bermuda?
No, the course.
Oh, I didn't even think about Bermuda. I guess Todd Father has won there. It would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Scheffler played good there a couple years ago. It's got, some of the things that I think relate. So that was one of the courses I was looking at. And Scheffler is just a good player, so I don't think he's the ideal skill set, but I'm not sure that matters up here.
No, listen, if he's going to be, is he the best player in the field? Because Louis is here. Louis is good. Louis your guy.
Louis is good. I love Louis. Louis is good. I don't know. Louis, all of a sudden, the problem with Louis, he literally gained strokes putting for like 2 straight years. And now it seems like the tables have turned a little bit. And I just wonder exactly what's going on. I'm worried that he's going to regress all the way to the other side of the pendulum.
Okay, so the other two guys above 10K are Cam Smith and Harris English. Harris English would rate out the best for me, but his past two events, he was like brutal, especially on the greens. He changed putters for reasons, I guess. He was putting too well, had to let the field have a chance, I guess, and lost like 7 strokes putting. And then he withdrew from the CJ Cup, and we haven't seen him since. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I mean, seriously, why he was putting out of his mind and just having an incredible year to close it and then start up. So that is a little concerning, but maybe again, if you're playing that, ownership game, out of sight, out of mind, hasn't looked good recently. Having said that, I'd probably find, just like I said with Webb to Scheffler, I'd probably rather find $200 and just play Cam Smith.
I don't know if I love Cam Smith here. Like when I go and look at Cam Smith's like overall numbers over the course of his career, and obviously he's played well at both styles of courses. He won at Sony, which I mean you could say is probably a bit of a comp to this, but I always find he plays better at longer courses for whatever reason.
I mean, he is an odd player like that. I don't disagree, but I just think with him, when you can marginalize off the tee a little bit, such a good putter, good with the irons, there's opportunities there. But I mean, I do think naturally when I think of Cam Smith, I think of more, tougher tracks too, just where you're really being tested and whatnot. But at the same time, I still think there's some things that will translate for what you want to do here.
I think for me, it's just going to be Webb above 10K.
Okay.
Louis would have my interest. He really would. I just don't know if I can get there.
Any interest in double dipping?
Maybe
like Webb Louis starts?
That would assume that I've looked at who's at the $6,000 range, and I haven't.
It's not good.
So I'm guessing not for this tournament.
Yeah, here we go. We got Ludwig Adberg.
That guy made the cut when he played. Oh, I guess Hoagie is 69. Captain Ramey wasn't Chad Ramey like $9,900 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, this guy's the new, like his price, he's going to hit for the cycle 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10K range in the same year because I don't know. He apparently, they give him his stats forever. He's got 48 game logs on DraftKings. They just go historical with that guy. So he's played a lot of golf on the Korn Ferry Tour.
He did. He has some nice results on it. He won the Maine.
He did.
He won Maine. It just says Maine.
Wow.
It doesn't say Maine Open or the Maine Classic, just Maine. He won that back in June. Let's see. 14th at Shriners, 17th at Bermuda. Missed the cut last week. I really liked that course last week, by the way. I thought it was great.
I didn't see a ton of it, I'll be honest, but from what I did see, I'll agree. I thought it was kind of interesting, a good little test. And we just, anything to avoid like, oh, your guy didn't get the under 60 bonus, the rare, like, yeah, that's going to cost you on Sunday. Like some of these courses are just so much of a joke at this point.
Yeah. If we can have a course or two throughout the course of the year where, -8 is realistic to win, like that's going to be very much in the mix. Like that's a fun tournament to watch.
No, it's great. And when your guy does something, if you get a streak or something, it's going to count. It's not just like, all right, my guy did the streak and now I need my other 5 guys to follow suit. I really don't like sweating golf like that where it's so lopsided and the scoring is so out of control.
$9,000 range. It's Corey Connors at 99. Kind of like Corey Connors here. Joaquin Neiman, Russell Henley, who's going to be uber chalk. Noren at 95. The Gooch at 93. Kisner at 92. Uber chalk. Adam Scott at 9,000. I've already bet Adam Scott at 40-1. That just seems too high in this field to me for Adam Scott, although his irons were not exactly clicking a week ago, but it's not like he was hitting a ton of wedges. I want my Adam Scott either hitting it from like 235 or 75. Those are my two ranges with Adam Scott, and he's just going to blister the ball off the tee and just hit flip wedges into everything here, and he's been putting a lot better, so I like him. Like I said, this entire range, if you just play 3 of these guys, you might not have to go above 10,000. Is that what you were talking about when you were thinking like a balanced lineup will be popular?
Definitely. I think starting, I'll be honest, I don't know if I would start with Scott, but I think if you start with 1 or even 2 above him, you can make really interesting lineups. I think the guy that, and listen, I get why. Neiman is, I feel like really not going to be on people's minds. He didn't look good last week. The putter's been a little cold. I do have some interest there. Just kind of, as I've said before, he's kind of a macro buy for me. He can get crazy hot. And I don't think this is a bad course for him. I just don't know how much the game is in top tip shape right now.
Well, he had made like 13 cuts in a row before missing the cut last week. It's been an awful lot of golf for Joaquin. The guy I was looking for, I think we used to think of Noren as this like tough course player, but all of his best results over the past 2 years have been at like super easy courses. And this is going to be a super easy course.
I don't know so when I first saw the pricing, I was just like, oh, this is perfect because Henley's going to be super chalk. People always equate Kisner with this course. Gooch has been playing really well. I'll just play Noren. I don't know. I mean, he's such a good putter, but you're right. He's really flipped. Like a lot of things in his game have slowly kind of differed from when he's built it back up. And he's playing a lot better than when he had his real bad stretch. Just not sure about this with him. But having said that, I do like some of it. And he is more built to go, 20 under than he was. And when you can putt like that, I kind of do like the sandwich spot. I don't know. Again, $200 more. You could give me Neiman. I think I'd go there.
Back-to-back top 20s in his only 2 starts at this course for Alex Noren. Just trying to check back who's done well. Neiman's played pretty well here. He's got a T44 and a T65, like nothing great, but he also hasn't been an abject failure. Henley is just weird. He has like a top 10. He has a big finish like early in his career. He had 2 missed cuts sandwich in between. A lot of the guys, weirdly enough, like Harris English, 3 of 5 missed cuts. Henley, 2 of 4 past missed cuts. The Gooch has missed 3 of the past 4 years. Even Kisner. Kisner has 3 top 7 finishes and 2 missed cuts the past 5 years at the RSM. Well, you just catch a bad wave and you're cooked.
Yeah, I mean, 2 different courses, a lot of weird variants at stuff like this. So I don't read a ton into that. Has Adam Scott played here?
Not to my no, not at least not in the past 5 years.
Okay. So, I mean, that doesn't really bother me with a guy like that, but yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of, some miscuts peppered with some top end finishes. I think that's just the nature of what we have to deal with here at the RSM.
So who do I go with? Scott for sure. Do you think that Gooch? Do you think Gooch might? I don't think that he's going to be low owned, but I feel like he's going to be substantially lesser owned than Henley and Kisner.
I would agree with that, but I think that maybe he's on the Noren tier, and then
I think Noren's like way behind. Like I don't think anyone's over Noren. Maybe I'm dead wrong.
See, I thought that about Neiman, but maybe I'm dead wrong about that. I mean, I know that Henley and Kisner for certain are going to garner some eyeballs for obvious reasons. I'm not sure about like even Corey Connors. I mean, it's not like he's going to be sneaky, but I don't think people are going to gravitate towards him in a gigantic way either.
So I would say like Noren, maybe Gooch. After that, Scheffler might be the lowest owned.
That's shady.
Because
really?
Because everyone's just going to use Webb, and you're not going to use Webb and Scheffler.
I'm using Scheffler. I'm going with Scotty, but that is true. I guess it's going to depend on how obvious some of these pay down options are, but it's true. I doubt many people will go Scheffler Webb. So Webb could be a good block there. That'll be good. That'll create natural leverage. It's just the 9K build to start is very appealing. I think it really, really helps you. And you've still got a lot of win equity in there.
Well, how many people do you think start Henley, Gooch, Kisner?
A lot. A real lot. So don't do that. And I get it, unless you have some randos at the bottom. I just think there are similar guys in the 9K range. Like if it was me, I'd probably go Noren, Scott, and then one of these guys in the mid to upper 8s.
Interesting. Just trying to
or even Neiman Scott.
Let's go to the 8s because there's guys in here that if you wanted to pair with a Webb, I think that you can get away with it. You got Keegan, Rose, Homa, Hughes, Damon, Todd, Mito. Seamus Power comes in at 8,200. Vegas and Kirk's a former winner here. He's first round leader, like I had mentioned a few years back. I'll probably end up playing. Actually, there's a guy in the 7s who's kind of close to him that I might end up going with. Is it weird that I like Justin Rose?
I mean, Rose is not him and Jason Day. I'm just not allowed to talk about anymore. I don't know what to do with them. I mean, Rose, is there anything in particular? Or you just think just the way he plays, the putter at times just gets crazy hot, or you see something?
It's more that the putter can get crazy hot, and remember when he randomly played the Wyndham this year, and he played like really good.
Yeah, he
at
was
the Wyndham?
good.
Yeah, he was top 10 at the Wyndham. Like his past, he hasn't missed a cut since the U.S. Open, strangely enough. And like he was at Mayakoba, he was 40th. That's not great. CJ Cup, 57th, 6th at the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. So that's good. Wyndham, T10. Like he's not playing awful. It is a pretty weak field, and no one's going to use Rose.
Yeah, it's definitely a class drop, no doubt about that. It's the irons. If he can just keep them even remotely good, he's going to be at a huge advantage. I don't mind, I don't really like Keegan. I'm indifferent to Homa. I think Joel Dahman, like a lot of people, I totally get that. He's fits the course. He's had some success here in the past. He was really, really good at Houston. So I think that's the obvious target, just a couple $100 less than Rose.
Would you go with Mac Hughes, former winner of this event?
Mac Hughes. It's just so hard because you look and it's just like, well, how can I go with this guy? He can't hit an iron, but he doesn't have to. The way he plays, if he can just hold it steady to zero, he can be really effective. And he didn't putt at all at Houston, and he still was not terrible. So that's actually a positive data point. Maybe, I mean, he's clearly in play at a course like this. There's no doubt about it. Not my preferred target, but I get it. I totally get it.
He missed 5 cuts in a row. Valspar, Wells Fargo, PGA Championship, Colonial, then Memorial. And he hasn't missed a cut since. He's 15th at the U.S. Open, 6th at the Open, 14th, 4th at the Zozo, 25th. He played pretty well at the Olympics. Like, it's just really strange how well he's been playing. Like I said, he legit can't, and most of the time he can't drive either. And the weeks that he can't drive and he can't hit an iron, he gains like 6.5 strokes putting.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, I remember when he was missing cuts. Those were simpler times, but since then it's true. He's found ways. He kind of, he does that. He reminds me, he's got some Cam Smith. Obviously the irons are different, but off the tee is weak, and they work their way in and out of trouble. I definitely prefer Dahman, but I also think the field does, so it's not really doing anything for me.
Damon might just be a bet. I think I am going to use him at $8,500, and like
Day?
for all the what do I have him at? Let's see, Damon 60.
Yeah, he's going to be on my card.
Damon 66. I can do that. Like
yes, yeah, I see 65 per. Yeah, that's a bet.
Like that range is Rose, Keegan, Mito, Todd, Hughes, Damon, Power, Harmon. All those guys are 60 or 66. I think I like Damon's outright win equity, and he got the win at some stupid island course, didn't he?
Yeah,
Puerto
Punta
Rico.
Cana.
Was it Punta Cana or Puerto Rico?
Thought those were the same. Is that bad to say?
Yes. One's
Okay.
Dominican.
Dominican.
Punta Cana's in Dominican Republic.
What's the course at Puerto Rico? Yeah, see, now the tables have turned because no one knows this shit. There's too many islands. They need to consolidate.
Just
They
make
shouldn't
it.
add a Bermuda.
Well, I mean, at least Bermuda happens during the swing season. The problem with the other two is they happen like opposite real events, so like no one cares. The only thing I remember about Damon's win was that guy who always plays well, who's from Puerto Rico, had the chance to win, and he like fist pumped the putt going in, and it lipped out, and then Damon won.
Campos.
That's exactly who it was. Sam Ryder came third because that's who I had money on. He didn't win.
Yeah, it was. He won a Punta Cana. Same. So many things translate between those courses. So I get it. He'll be shielded from the wind, as we know, with his hat, and all systems go at 85.
Like, is chalk Joel Damon at $8,500 really where you want to be? Or is that one that if it happens, like good for him?
So I think part of it is connected to Webb in a little bit. Like I think he's a very solid play. And if you've done some things a little different up top, I don't mind it because I feel pretty confident he can return just a pretty solid performance. Now, if you played Webb, you're going really chalky in the 9s, and then you click Dahman, it's starting to get a little tricky to leverage. So I think it's kind of just an if statement with him. I totally get it's not going to feel comfortable, but there's not much in a field like this that does.
If you go Webb, Kisner, Damon, you have $7,200 left. So
yeah, you should just
self-exclude. That is going to be a pretty common start. Like when we fill out the best plays lineup, that's the start.
It definitely is the start.
I don't hate it.
No, I mean, it makes sense. That's why it's popular. I mean, there's always a reason. I just, at a tournament like this with so much going on, I'd like to find some alternate plays and some pivots.
I think that I'll go with Kirk at 8,000. His overall numbers just don't look good recently, and they're not. But I like this type of course for him.
No, yeah, I mean, Kirk does a lot of things that we want. I'll tell you though, I mean, I'm a Chris Kirk guy, not a Matt Kuchar guy, but
that was the name. That was the name that I was going to go to instead of Kirk was Cooch, who's I don't want to say he's heating up, but he's playing a lot better.
Well, playing a lot better. Definitely a decent course. He's shown it at OHL recently. Good price. I think that's a guy that where is he in the old
75 to 1? I can find him as long as 80.
I see worse plays than that on the betting board.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bad players in this field.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think I could get to Kuchar in the mid-range, solid price, and like he is heating up, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, I had it pulled up a little bit earlier. Let's see here. Matt Kuchar, he's made 3 cuts in a row. He's made every cut in the swing season. Good enough. Let's do it.
Easy game.
22nd at Mayakoba. All right. And like, even when you go and look at like the places where he has played well, it's a bunch of missed cuts, but he has a 29th at Wyndham, 50th at Colonial, 18th at Heritage, like all of the courses where that correlate with this one, he's still playing well at. So why not?
No doubt about it. I think there's a lot of things, and he hasn't kind of popped just yet. So I don't think by any stretch he's going to be really, really popular.
Okay, so Cooch, he's on there. Former winner, CH3 is down in the 7s. Matt Wallace, first round leader here last year. He's kind of lost his game. I bet Aaron Rye at 100 to 1, and I'm also playing him at $7,400 instead of your beloved Griot.
So Griot's old news. I haven't talked to him last week or so. Troy Merritt is my new obsession. I play this guy every week. It rarely works, but that's nothing new. Honestly, Troy Merritt starting to heat up as well. You have any interest in him in the mid 7s right next to Rye?
Well, Merritt has made 3 of his past 4 cuts at this course, and Merritt, it's funny because I've actually bet a lot of Merritt in my life. I mean, he wins from time to time, but he gets so hot with his putter, and he gets weirdly hot with his irons too. It kind of makes him like Mac Hughes, but potentially better, but he's definitely not as consistent anywhere. But he does those 2 things really well, and sometimes they just mesh in the right week. Like, what was the week where he won? He gained like 40 strokes on the field at one of these crossover events. I think it was the one that Wiley lives by, Barbasol.
Yeah, Barbasol.
It was like, okay, Troy Merritt. I guess so. I think that for pure DraftKings scoring, like you're going to deal with a lot of missed cuts, but he does have upside. Yeah, I can be talked into Merritt.
Yeah, he's playing honestly pretty good lately, and it was good to see. I know, swing season's not that long, but Rye started off not great. He's looked much better in recent weeks, so I have no problem with him. This range, yeah, this is nuts. I don't know what the hell happened to Griot. He pulled out of last week, so he's back. Him, Schwab. What a range, Grace.
Well, Grace missed the cut, and then Grace said he's dealing with some sort of illness, although he's playing. Because this would be, okay. I mean, I bet Grace last week. I mean, I most definitely would have bet Grace this week, but I don't like the sounds of that, which means he's definitely going to win now.
No, that's not the answer.
Adam Long was the other one at 7,500. So you have Merritt, Long, and then Rye right in the middle of those 7s. I like those. Adam Long, 3 really good tournaments in a row, gaining a bunch with his irons. He's putting again. And that was off of like being brutal for most of the year. So it seems like he's figured something out. And this is a course where I would want to use him. Like this really, some of these shorter hitters, they're just so much more in play here.
No doubt. I mean, honestly, the mid 7s, I actually think it's a pretty target rich environment. You've got a handful of guys here whose skill sets. Yeah, no, like honestly, Norlander. What about Lanto?
Oh God, is he below 7,000?
No.
Then don't play him. That's Rick's rule.
Okay.
That usually works out for us. Pass.
Yeah. Hayden Buckley.
You have to go. You should probably Google who that is.
Yeah, he's American. He's got a giant American flag when I clicked his name.
Yeah, but that could be wrong. You don't know.
No, but I'm gonna. Let's see. Now you got me Googling this guy.
Listen, I'm going to play some hits going out the door here. I'm definitely playing Doug Gim at $7,200. Lock that one in. He had made
University of Missouri. Okay.
There we go.
Gim, T-Dunks.
No, I'm not going to go with T-Dunks. This feels like a Hadwin course, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Hadwin's, I don't know if you can be good at like rotationals, but I remember when Hadwin went crazy nuke at the one out in California at one of those courses once. And, you know, getting back to the actual skill set you need, great putter, doesn't need distance. Hasn't been great, but he's also showed some signs in swing season. He's played a good amount. I kind of like that. What about Alex Smalley? He's someone I've kind of played a good amount over swing season. I've been pretty impressed. Seems just like an all-around solid player. I can't really tell if this would be a quote unquote his type of course, but I also don't see anything why it wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, back-to-back top 20s, and one in Bermuda, one in Houston, so two completely different style of courses. I just remember him from the Wyndham, and all of a sudden it's like, he's like up there on the leaderboard. This is kind of weird. Yeah, I could probably be talking to Stuart Smalley. Alex Smalley,
Good.
whatever the hell his name is.
Stuart Smalley. I was gonna say, who the hell is that? But
Stuart Smalley's the guy from Saturday Night Live. You're good enough, you're smart enough, and by God, people like you. Stuart Smalley.
There you go. That's a sign. Now you got me looking at this guy's betting odds.
It was Alex Smalley?
Yeah.
Let's see. 100 to 1. It's not enough.
No. Nope, it's not. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have. I mean, you could, if you start in the nines, you could end with like Smalley or Stanley or Taylor Moore.
Not even.
Like those.
No, not even. You could go. Let's see. Henley, Kisner, Scott.
You're gonna end with Rye.
You could go Rye guy. Where is he at here? You can go with Gim at 72. And then you can go with Merritt. And, I mean, everyone's going to use Luke List, but I'll go with Adam Long instead.
Sounded like you picked 7 golfers, which, if you can do that, I would recommend doing it. Did you?
I feel like I still wouldn't win, so let's not change it. No, the lineup would be Henley, Kisner, Scott, Gim, Merritt, Long.
Okay. But
List.
no Rye.
No Rye, no.
Okay. I was going to say, that makes sense.
Are you going to use List this week? I can't do it.
I don't think so. It's not even that I don't like it. We've mentioned a lot of names here in the same range. You brought up a good point, Adam Long. That's someone I wasn't really looking at, and I kind of like what I see. Merritt, Rye, Griot, Schwab is just there. Hadwin. I don't know if I'll have room for someone like List.
Would you like to know, because I just ran a model that includes no putting whatsoever, just for kicks to see who it would spit out. Can I interest you in Kyle Stanley?
Kyle Stanley would be at the top of that model, but his putting, I mean, it's just not even. And then he gained that. I don't understand. This happens, I feel like, all the time. He finally gained just a little at Houston, and everything else was just bad for a change.
Reevy is turning into almost the exact same thing too.
That guy, flat 7. Yeah, I mean, Ches. He's just a weird guy. Like, I feel like Ches is such a form golfer. When he's going, like, push it to the limit. When he loses it a little, it can get bad. Yeah, wow, you weren't lying. His putting is atrocious.
So is the next guy at the 7K min. Gained 7 strokes on approach last week and has some, like, spike performances over the past, like, basically since the Wyndham. He was 15th at Wyndham, 11th at the Fortnite, 40th at Mayakoba, 19th at 19th at Houston. I believe that this is the 17th event on the calendar, potentially, which would make it Q. So Scott Piercy.
He's, I mean, Scott Piercy, yeah, he's got, I mean, you did mention the irons, which is going for him. He is another just awful putter, but
yeah, but when he putts well.
Yeah, spike putter, and it's few and far between, but that doesn't really matter because you're trying to tap into, someone who could get in contention, obviously grab you some placement points. And I do think in terms of like top 10 equity, he's probably got the highest miscut equity of this range, but he also, to me, has maybe the highest like top 5 equity too. Because when he gets going, he can be really good. So, and it is the Q connection. I didn't factor that in. So now it's back to the drawing board.
I don't know if it's going to be windy or not, but that tends to play in his favor over time. He's a very good wind player. Maybe he doesn't believe in wind, and that just works for him. Who knows what he thinks
Smart.
these days?
I know. Every year, somehow, he gets in the U.S. Open, and then it's like there'll be no birdies, and Scott Piercy starts with a streak, and it's like, what? And then
Misses the cut.
obviously he doesn't win, but he does that.
So there are some guys in the sixes I don't hate. Throwing that out there right now. Chad Ramey, 69. Tom Hoagie, 69. I'll play those two guys. Do we have to play Stuart Sink just blindly based on where he's won and played well at over the past year?
It's just like, I get it, but then I feel like it's like, do we have to play Zach Johnson too?
No, because we want to play
Okay.
we want to play Camillo and we want to play Vega or Landry. Those are the two guys we want to play at 68.
But Spawn,
Spawn once came second here.
like the comic book guy.
Michael
I don't
J.
know.
White.
I mean,
Was that who played Spawn?
that I'm not sure of.
With John Leguizamo as the clown bad guy? I remember that movie. Spawn.
I've definitely seen it.
From 1997.
Those were the days. Steven Yeager.
Michael J. White. Martin Sheen is in it? Okay. Go.
Michael J. White is in Exit Wounds? Question mark.
He's in-
Fairly certain.
He's in what?
Exit Wounds. You never seen Exit Wounds? DMX.
Oh, yes, he is in that. He's the bad. He's the good guy / but
Yeah.
turns out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert on
Yeah.
Exit Wounds with DMX
Well.
and Steven Seagal. That's the Ain't No Sunshine movie, isn't it?
I don't know about that.
Pretty sure that was on
How
the
did you know he
soundtrack.
was Spawn, by the way? That's obscene.
Because he was in Spawn, and then he was in this jail boxing movie I remember from the early 2000s. No idea what it's called. Guess I was a bit of like a Michael J. White stan, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, I get partial credit. I made the connection to Exit Wounds, but good times. Does that mean means we should probably just play Andrew Landry, honestly? But what's he done? Houston was bad. He was good at Mayakoba, good at Sanderson Farms. Landry's, he's got the win stuff. The sixes aren't that bad, honestly.
No, you could, now that we think back to it, you could probably do the double 10K if you wanted to.
Russell Knox.
No, just everyone
Okay.
needs to stop it with Russell Knox. I
I
don't
see that at Bermuda though.
How do you do in Bermuda? Oh, he's 12th. Congratulations to him. His first he has 2 top 20s, and I think he still has no top 10s. Let's see. Wait, who am I on here? Russell Knox. He was, this is his type of course, in fairness. He was top 10 at Pebble Beach because no one played in that tournament. And I think his last top 10 before that was like ages ago. Like I don't know. I can't do it with him. I've had enough.
No, I think there's
I'm looking at Michael J.
Enough.
White's IMDb.
what's he been doing?
He's in lots. Nothing I've seen, but just lots. Oh, and he was in Universal Soldier: The Return, which I saw in theaters because it had Goldberg in it.
Is that a sequel? I
Yes.
assume because they're returning.
Yeah, well, Universal Soldier 1 just had Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I want to say I've seen that, but I think that'd be a lie. Does it have Drago in it?
The original?
I don't know. I watch a lot of bad TV while I'm gambling.
Do you just have like AMC on all day?
Yeah, I have like weird, like just like weird movie channels on that play those type of like garbage movies.
What was the name of that movie? The boxing movie. Undisputed.
Okay.
Although he seems to be in Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing. So maybe he was in a sequel that went straight to video.
Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day. It was like ninjas. I gotta figure out what this was.
It was just
like-
called Ninjas.
No, it was called, God, I'm gonna have to figure this out on the fly. It was outraged. It was like the fourth one too. I had never seen the first 3. I don't know if it was American Ninja.
Were you just watching American Ninja Warrior, the reality show?
No, it was American Ninja. Have you never seen these movies?
No.
Wow.
Is Jet Li
Let me
in them?
tell you. No, these are from, I'm getting it up. This is real good golf analysis. Sorry, people, but American Ninja 2, The Confrontation.
Ooh.
1987. It is with Michael Dudikoff and Steve James. Let me tell you, you need to see this movie. It was really outrageous.
I'm big on these like late 80s like horrible action movies like They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. It's a John Carpenter movie. It's crazy.
This movie it's checking all those boxes, I can promise you. It was outrageous.
I went through a big Van Damme and Seagal phase, like I think in like the 9th grade. Just went to Blockbuster and rented all of these awful movies. Oh, there was one Van Damme. I think it was Sudden Impact. Might not be the one, but he ends up killing the guy in the end. He's in this like, I think he's in a jail or he's in some sort of building and he's in a steam room and he ends up like putting the guy through a pipe. It's just wild stuff.
Yeah, I have not seen that. Street Fighter. He's in Street Fighter.
He's in Street Fighter.
That.
And he's also in a movie called The Quest that also has Roger Moore in it, which is like a really hack version of
James Bond.
Oh no, it's a really hack version of Mortal Kombat. It sucks so bad. And then I watched Legionnaire, which is also really horrible. He lost it.
I haven't seen any of these.
Oh, these are like mid-90s Van Damme, like after he was a star.
Well, I got American Ninja too, and that no one can take that away from me.
Sounds pretty good. You know who stat models love? Adam Svensson.
Where is he?
He is $6,300. Brant Snedeker is $6,300.
He's also 250 to 1. You know he can win. I mean, he's been playing as bad as any player on any tour, but I mean, we know the guy when he goes, he can win. He
had a nice little run. He was top 20 at the Open somehow, and then he followed it up with a 11th at 3M, and then he's been horrible ever since.
I thought you were going to mention Nick Hardy.
I don't know much about Nick Hardy except for I played him a whole bunch of times, like when he would just pop up throughout the course of the year. I actually don't know anything about him.
I mean, I don't know. Him and Dylan Meyer came at points they were in the same tournaments. He makes cuts. He's been making cuts during swing season. I've been playing him.
Really good ball striker too, based off what I'm seeing here. Gains off the tee, gains with his approach.
He just seems well-rounded.
What about Vince Whaley? He got his name changed. He's no longer Vincent Whaley. He's Vince Whaley.
A little edgy for swing season. I like that. Okay.
He's went 7th, 64th, 15th in his last 3.
That's what you're going to get down here. Obviously, that's why Nick Hardy was interesting to me. He's one of the few guys that he tends to make the cut. A lot of these guys, they give you more erratic, but you're not going to find a ton of stability. Like I looked at Poston, I couldn't get there. I'd rather just blindly back Sneds if I was going to do that. Like his irons are completely shattered.
Luke Donald? Question mark?
I don't know. If I was going to do that, I'd rather, and I'm not going to do this either. I'd rather just play Peter Malnati.
Oh God. All right. Maybe we don't need it. I might bet Snedeker at 250 to 1.
Why not? Like the guy's got every comp that you would want. We know he's a winner. He probably doesn't have it right now, but that's all right.
The other two I was looking at, instead of Pendrith and Spawn and Michael Thompson, although I could talk myself into how has Michael Thompson been playing? That's the one thing about the swing season. Like I have no idea when these guys have played because these tournaments just have like 8 people withdraw from them, then other people get into them. Hudson Swafford, he's super consistent, by the way. Can't chip. Chipping's a real problem for him.
Swafford, yeah. I mean, part of the shout out to Tim Frank, former podcast partner. He's part of the Sion Mafia, just like 90 other people down here in terms of Swafford. So
I'll do Swafford. I'll do a Swafford at 66. I'll probably have to unstar Jager Bombs though. Get him off the list.
So Jaeger and Peter Uihlein are 2 guys that I still have kind of potentially in play. I don't know what I exactly want to do with them, but maybe I'll start swapping them out for some of these more aggressive guys like Swafford.
Why not Uihlein? Isn't this like I wouldn't say you're the Uihlein whisperer, but
I don't know if he has a whisperer.
Isn't this it's on Bermuda, so that's like step 1 for him, isn't it?
Definitely step 1 because he has to do it all with the putter. Step 2 is don't hit it out of bounds. I mean, some of his best finishes,
Or
they've
when
been
when he
here.
doesn't hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, it's correlated. That much I know. When he doesn't take penalty strokes, he tends to play better. RSM top 10, Puerto Rico's top 10. So he's done it here and he's done it at corollary courses. I mean, if you're looking for a flyer at 64 and you double jam up top, I don't think it's the worst spot.
How much is he? 6,400?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw him on the list.
Put him on the board.
I always want to play Douwe van der Waal just because I like his name, but that's probably not a good enough reason, is it?
I mean, there's some names down here. Austin Smotherman.
So I think he's Canadian. I could be wrong.
He could be a
about that.
villain in some of the movies we talked about.
He is not. He's from Loomis, California. Named after Dr. Loomis of the Halloween movies, I'm assuming.
I've never seen those.
You've never seen a Halloween movie? There's like 20 of them.
I mean, I probably have seen a full one because of the goddamn commercials with Jamie Lee Curtis or whatever, but no, never seen them.
Let's just talk about movies for a second since we're on this.
Please.
Why is True Lies criminally underrated?
Do you know how many times hey, don't comment. May's chiming in about True Lives because I literally watched that. I don't know, a couple times. I've probably seen True Lives over 50 times.
It's amazing.
Start to
Like
finish.
you can,
Amazing.
It is one of the few movies that you can just tune into at any spot. You're like, oh, this part's great. And
he's on a horse.
Yeah, I always tune in like 30 minutes in, 40 minutes in. I always miss the Bill Paxton part, which is still a great part.
Oh yeah, Carlos the Jackal or whatever. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's got literally everything. It's got Tom Arnold. It's got nuclear weapons. The beginning of that movie is outrageous. You gotta try to catch the beginning.
The beginning's when he goes into the mansion and meets Tia Carrera, right? Hot streak for Tia Carrera coming off Wayne's World. Like, let's go.
Yeah, she was certainly that was her epic time. But yeah, then he leaves the party and he's on like a snowmobile or whatever. And then he gets into the van with Tom Arnold.
I can't believe Tom. I mean, there's a lot of implausible things that would happen in this movie. Couldn't imagine Tom Arnold working for the Secret Service. Just a lot of blow.
That's the genius of it.
A lot of blow with Tom Arnold.
Who would ever think that?
Sure, he's good in that movie too. I like Tom Arnold.
Oh, he's fantastic. That movie is criminally underrated. I watch that frequently for good bad movies.
Well, I mean, I think it's a good, like, it's a James Cameron movie. Like, you look at it, it's like, this is spectacular.
Yeah, it's just maybe slightly unrealistic when he like fires the nuke through the building to hit the other plane. But
Sure. But like, even like the stunt work at the time of him like flying the fighter jet like off that bridge in Florida, it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Like he also kills, I mean, body count wise, he racks them up in that movie. A lot of KOs for Arnold.
What is RSM?
And like, what is it? Like an insurance company?
Is that what it is? Is it insurance or financial?
No, I just made that up, but it could be RSM
company.
Maybe it's a movie house.
It's an accounting firm. So this all leads me to, I think we need to play this guy at the bottom at $6,000. Accounting, maybe insurance, possibly finance. JP Griffin? That guy sounds like he's in finances.
Yeah, that sounds, he might be an accountant. So I don't know if that part's good, but I think for me, you don't want to go lower. You mentioned Swenson. Like, I see Trey Mullinax's name, but it just seems unnecessary. Like, for me, give me Uline at 64 as my floor.
Is Warinsky completely cooked? Because he's down there too.
I didn't even, where is he?
He's 60.
I mean, that's like Doc Redman's down there, but he is cooked right now.
Yeah, Warinsky's been not good.
Tough scene. He hasn't had a top 5 since True Lies. That's very bad. Very bad, Richie.
Joshua Creel, a very popular New York Times crossword answer, but I don't know if I can get to him at the RSM Classic.
Bill Haas.
Oh my God, Bill Haas is down here. What about Martin Trainer?
Does he still have status?
He came second last week, didn't he? Oh, he was leading going into the final round.
Well, he didn't win. He really could have used that.
He came 5th last week. I think that's how he got into this tournament.
I mean, he did win. I'm not that we're playing Martin Trainer, but his win was the island course.
Yeah, he won in Puerto Rico.
What is the name of this? Cocoa Beach.
Well, that sounds fun.
Never in a million years would I have known that.
All right, let's make a play the best plays lineup.
Oh boy.
I think we start with the first start that I had. Webb, Kisner, and Damon. Are there
72?
72? Like, are there like obvious guys at like the 7,000 range that people are gonna use?
Is it possible to get Kirk?
Is Kirk 8,000? Like Cam Davis is $6,800. Kramer Hickok, I think, is going to be pretty popular.
Do you think Knox is going to be popular?
Yes, I do actually. So he would go in this lineup.
Okay.
Knox is 67. All right, so now we got 74.5 for two guys.
Yeah, that helps if we can.
If we do Kirk, we have 69 left, or we can go like double middle with, like, I mean, List is probably in this lineup, to be perfectly honest with you. Coming off the week that he just had.
Yeah, List could be in there, but then it's like,
Grio.
I mean,
Grio, Lonto, Munoz is there. There's guys.
Yeah, you've got guys. Norlander, Hadwin.
I would say Munoz. Although Norlander's 6 of 6 in cuts made.
Yeah, he's just playing so consistent. He's not doing anything, but he's making cuts.
And there we go. There's the lineup. Webb, Kisner,
I like that
Damon,
lineup.
Knox, List, Norlander. There's your lineup. It's a bunch of short hitters and Luke List.
Can't fail.
Maybe he won't lose 6 strokes putting this week. Bets.
Maybe, but
Bets for the RSM. I got, let's see here. Aaron Rye, 100 to 1. Snedeker, 250 to 1. Those are with the each ways. And Adam Scott at 40 to 1. Those are the 3 that I'm in on right now. You gonna sell me on anyone?
so I think Dahmen is fine. That's not crazy though.
Oh yeah, that's what we were
Let me
gonna
see.
do. We were gonna go with Damon, weren't we?
I mean, Merritt's 100.
It's not crazy. What's Piercy?
Piercy is, I see, $120. It's not bad.
90 at DraftKings Sportsbook. I'd rather take the $120. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, Piercy 125 where I have him right now. Those might be like first round leader plays though. So I'll go Damon as well at 66 with the top 5. Damon.
What about, all right, I got one. What is he? I don't think I want to bet this guy to win. Jaeger, 12 to 1 for a top 10.
I thought you were going to say 12 to 1 to be top German with no other Germans in the field.
Yeah, against Barnard Longer's coming in for one round.
Oh my God, GMAC is playing in this tournament? I didn't even see his name on the list. McDowell? 6,500.
I mean, that guy.
This is a
he
GMAC.
only can-
This is a GMAC course if there ever was one.
No, he just needs a hurricane.
He was 12th in Bermuda.
Yeah, and he was 4th at Corrales.
Yeah.
And then other than that, his best finish, like in like 3 years, was like a 30th.
No,
he
he
only plays good.
Pretty sure he won in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. At like one of the real like the good tournaments over there,
Yeah, I think he beat Dustin.
that would count.
But I think they were the only 2 guys in the tournament. He's down to
So it's just-
270th.
It was the match, the Saudi match,
Yeah,
Dustin versus McDowell.
Dustin versus McDowell.
Yep.
Where was his best finish? Yeah, he won the Saudi in 2020. He was up to 47th in the world, and now he's down to 300th. Good God. Poor guy. I like G-Mac.
Yes.
He would be good on TV. I think he's one of the better, like him and Poulter, I think have to get into the booth. Although Poulter's still good.
They're good personalities for sure. I like G-Mac too. I definitely root for him. I just don't think I want to play him.
I might add Kuchar to the card too. So I'll have my full card in the newsletter. Once again, in the newsletter. So you have to be subscribed to it, or you can just click on it when I tweet it out. And I tweet out the card and post it on Facebook. Very easy to find if you tried to look for it. If you didn't try to look for it, I could then see how it would be more difficult to do. Ben Rasa, I did every event of the 2021 golf season. I'm fucking never doing that again.
Yeah, that's impressive. Probably adverse to your health, but congratulations. You get some welcome time off from the golf world.
We'll have to do, how many people should we have in the draft this year? Because people keep asking me about the draft. Because like it was just the 6 of us. Then we added Wiley last year and Ulrich last year. So I think we had 8. Could we do 12? And you've won both years.
I know. I was just saying, I want to shrink it. It's the only thing I'm good at is that draft. Yeah, the more the merrier. Why not? It's always a really fun time. Get a first look at the new season. You got something to root for the entire year. And
then you'll do things like draft Justin Suh in the last round when you mean to draft Doug Gim, and it really cost you in the end because Gim had a pretty good year. Suh did not. He had like $34,000. Yeah,
I had Griot. Griot was obviously the linchpin of that team. I had some real characters last year, but I'm glad.
You had pick 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I took Rom.
You took Rom. I had JT. You had Rom. Then who was the guy who really carried you after Rom?
I just had I had Billy Ho. He helped. I had Tony Finau. Leishman.
Oh, so you had a lot of wins.
Yeah, I just had really a pretty balanced team. Justin Rose wasn't good, but he wasn't like so bad. Just was able to, and obviously Rom is just, and I had Cantlay too.
Oh shit. So your team was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I had if Rom didn't get COVID on the green, it would have been that made it tighter than I thought it should have been.
But, yeah, but you still would have got the win for that because Cantlay won.
Yeah, I could have like scooped the whole purse.
That's true.
That would have been nice.
Would have been nicer if more. Actually, no, I had money on
onward
Cantlay.
And upward.
I had money on Cantlay that week. For some reason, I think I had money on Cantlay and Morikawa, and they both went to the playoff together after Rom beat it. And I was like, let's go. It's great. Thank you for appearing so many times on the Pat Mayo Experience. We'll do a football, obviously, before the year is over. But I want to thank you. Go to awesemo.com. Are you covering any golf over there this week, or is that just past you at this point?
No, we're still got some shows for sure. And obviously, like everyone else, NFL hoops, and I'm busy in the college football and college basketball world with Matt Gajeski. So enjoy a little gambling, a little DFS. Stop on by. We'd love to have you as part of the community.
Do we have a bad action movie show that we can do together?
We should do that. That is where I can bring some analysis. I can prep again. American Ninja 2. I got to see the first one, and I probably should see the whole part because I came in the middle. They're already attacking the compound, but it was very interesting.
American Ninja 2. Oh, I mean, this poster is great. Like this one guy.
That's what I'm saying.
This guy looks like knockoff. Well, I'm just looking at the one for American Ninja 3 now. The one guy looks like a knockoff Keanu.
Third.
Like American Ninja, the guy looks like low rent Emilio Estevez.
It's got, oh my God. Now there's an American Ninja 4, The Annihilation.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, Bloodsport. That's another all-time good, bad movie.
Oh no, Bloodsport is good.
Yeah, just good?
Yeah, Bloodsport. Don't call that good, bad. That's just good.
Okay. Fair enough.
El Guerrero Americano 4 with Michael Dudikoff and David Bradley. Apparently, I'm looking at the Spanish version of this now.
Okay. I mean, a movie that good, obviously, they're going to distribute it multiple avenues. So,
there's just a screenshot of him, and he's at his dojo, and he's wearing what looks to be like a scorpion from Mortal Kombat outfit. I can dig this.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. I
can get behind this. All right. I might have to watch all of these and report back to you. See what we can do.
I expect updates, please.
All right. Ben Rasa. Follow him on Twitter at JazzRazDFS. You can follow me at ThePME on Twitter. Sub to the newsletter, play in the listeners league link, smash the like, sub to the channel on the way out, and subscribe to FantasyNational.com, FantasyNational.com/Mayo to get yourself a discount, generate your lineups. That's the reason I bet on Aaron Rye this week. The simulator told me to do it. Just like when the simulator told me to bet on Aaron Cook. So I did and cashed him. So hopefully we can cash some Aaron Rye this week. Have some rye, drink some rye, win with some rye, buy some more rye with your winnings. That would be fantastic. I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next year.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!